Hello guys, welcome to another section of Learning with Prepclass. I am Tutor Chima and I'll be anchoring today's section. Today we are going to be looking at Jamb Biology 2018 and we're going to be solving questions 1 to 5. So it is a fresh start for this particular year 2018 and also the subject Biology Jamb. So we're starting up with questions number 1 to 5. Now guys, before we move, do not forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, like our videos. When you look below there, you see a notification bell. I urge you to click and activate that notification bell. When you activate the notification bell, you'll be the first to be notified whenever we have an educational content like this on our channel. Also, looking below there too, you see our comment section. I urge you to drop 1 or 2 comments on our comment section. A comment can be a question, maybe a question on this video, or a question on the previous videos or previous classes I've had, or previous past questions I've solved. I'll always be available to attend to your question. You can also be kind enough to share our videos. You can be kind enough to share our videos so that it's going to reach as much viewers as possible. Alright guys, having said that, we are going to kick off with this Jamb Biology 2018 and starting with question number 1. Number 1, viruses are considered to be living organisms because they possess transmittable characters? Is it because they move from one place to another? Is it because they respond to stimulation, or is it because they ingest food materials? So why are viruses considered living? Now, you may be asking that, are viruses not living things? Why are these people asking this kind of funny question? Now, viruses do not fall under any classification of living things. So they are considered as inanimate. Are you following? They are considered as inanimate. So a virus is partially non-living and partially living. Partially non-living in the sense that when a virus is outside a living organism, it behaves like a complete non-living thing. Viruses exist as crystals, just like crystals of salt. When they are outside a living organism, they behave like completely non-living thing. But by the time they enter into a living cell, maybe a bacterial cell, maybe our blood cell, skin cell, tissue cell, by the time they enter a living cell, they now start behaving like a complete living thing. They're reproducing, they'll be feeding, causing disease and every other thing. So that's why they are considered partly living and partly not living. Now, why are they now considered living? Now, the answer is that a virus consists simply of a single strand of nucleic acid. That is either a DNA or RNA. I know you may understand what a DNA or RNA is. DNA is ribonucleic acid. RNA is what? DNA is deoxyribonucleic acid, while RNA is ribonucleic acid. Both of them together, they carry what? Genetic information. That's, they carry genes. They're the one that transmit genes from parents to offspring. That's why they want to detect somebody or detect if so person is so person's father. They use DNA test because the gene must match from parents to offspring. So a virus consists simply of a single strand of nucleic acid, either DNA or RNA, enclosed in a protein coat. So DNA and RNA, just like I said, are units of heredity which can transmit characters from parents to offspring. So the main reason why viruses are considered living is because they have nucleic acid. That's the main thing. They have something that can transmit traits or genes from parents to offspring. So that's the main thing, the main reason why they are considered living organisms, because they contain what? DNA. That means they contain what? Something that can transmit what? Characters. So because of that, your answer is A. They possess transmittable characters. They possess transmittable characters. Number 2. Which of the following characteristics is common between amoeba and paramecium? Which of the following characters or characteristics is common between amoeba and paramecium? Is it possession of oral groove? Is it possession of trichocyst? Is it possession of contractile vacuole or cilia? What I'll do now is I'll show you the two structures. You can see amoeba, you can see paramecium. Though paramecium is more advanced than amoeba because paramecium has an opening where food enters, which is the mouth or gullet. So you can see amoeba, very simple. Paramecium has a cilia for moving. Amoeba moved by cyrrhopodia, is first fruits. They are both unicellular organisms and they are animal because they do not contain chloroplast. So what is common between both of them is that amoeba possess contractile vacuole and paramecium also possess contractile vacuole. You can see that paramecium has mouth, amoeba also have mouth. Paramecium moved by cilia, amoeba moved by cyrrhopodia. Paramecium has two nucleus, meganucleus or macronucleus, and the small one meganucleus. Amoeba has only one. Paramecium has two nuclei, amoeba has only one nucleus. What is common to both of them is contractile vacuole. They both possess contractile vacuole. Although amoeba has one contractile vacuole, paramecium two, anterior and posterior, but the truth is that they both possess contractile vacuole. So out of all the options, oral groove, amoeba doesn't have it. Trichocyst, amoeba doesn't have it. You can see these two in paramecium, oral groove, trichocyst and cilia. You can see those three in paramecium, but you can't see them in amoeba. Where is that oral groove? These people did not label. I got this picture from the internet. Oral groove is the same thing as the gullet. Trichocyst, there is an area around this cilia that is called a trichocyst, where the paramecium uses it to release substances to ward off predators. And which other one again did I mention? Oral groove, trichocyst, and cilia. You can see that amoeba doesn't have cilia, but paramecium have cilia that are used for movement. So the only thing common to them among those four options is contractile vacuole. Both of them have contractile vacuole. Number 3. Hydra removes undigested food by. Is it passing it through the anus? Is it passing it through the mouth? Is it means of contractile vacuole? Is it digesting it through the body surface? Now you must understand that Hydra has only one mouth part. I forgot to show you the complete diagram of Hydra and the parts. That's tentacles and one opening mouth. So the Hydra has only a single opening, which is the mouth at the top. That's a single opening, which is mouth, which is used for feeding and removal of undigested food. So the Hydra has only one opening. You use it for feeding. You use it for what? Removing undigested food. So the answer is the mouth, passing it through the mouth. That's disgusting. The same mouth for feeding, the same mouth for passing out feces. Number 4. Which of the following groups of invertebrates reproduces by budding? Which of the following groups of invertebrates reproduces by budding? Is it arthropoda? Is it annelida? Is it mollusca? Is it coelenterata? The answer is coelenterata. Why? Coelenterata, e.g. Hydra, reproduces asexually by budding. Those other ones will not reproduce by budding. This one reproduced by sexual reproduction. Mollusca, sexual reproduction. Annelida, sexual reproduction. So only coelentrates reproduced by budding. In budding, you see the Hydra will just stand. Before you know, a bud will be growing by the side of its body. Later, that bud will now develop, possess tentacles and mouths, then detach itself from the parents and start living an independent life. So that's budding in Hydra. Budding is a form of asexual reproduction, and it is mostly carried out in periods where food is plentiful and environmental conditions are highly favorable. So the answer is coelenterate. The algae, bryophytes, that's number 5, and pteridophytes are similar in that the algae, so some people call it algae, some people call it algae. Bryophytes and pteridophytes are similar in that they are seaweeds. They have no vascular tissues, require moisture for fertilization, and microscopic plants. Algae are partly microscopic, some of them, but when they come together in colony, you can now see them. These other two are not. Require moisture for fertilization. Bryophytes require moisture for fertilization. Algae do not. Pteridophytes, the fans, require moisture for fertilization, but the seed plants, Jamb, pteridophytes are fans. These two requires moisture for fertilization, but algae does not. Have no vascular tissues, These two does not have vascular tissues. I think bryophyte and pteridophyte have vascular tissues, but algae have not. Are seaweed. So if you look at it, none of them is a common character between the three. So I said that because they all, because these three, the bryophyte are somehow advanced plants. What is common to all plants is the presence of chlorophyll for photosynthesis and the possession of cellulose cell wall. So this is what is common to them, chlorophyll and cellulose cell wall. So because of that, I said no correct option. Seaweeds are algae, have no vascular tissues. Algae does not, but these two have. Require moisture for solution. These two does, but algae does not. A microscopic plant, algae is, but these two are not. So there is nothing that is common between the three, except the presence of chlorophyll in them, because they are all plants, and cellulose cell wall, because they are all plants. So there is no correct answer. Alright guys, we've come to the end of today's section of Learning with Prep Class, where we looked at biology past questions on Jamb for the year 2018. Below here you see a link. I advise you to type this link on your browser and load it. When you do so, it's going to take you straight to our WhatsApp group. So in essence, I'm asking you to join our WhatsApp group. When you join our WhatsApp group, you'll be getting infos, you'll be getting updates, you'll be getting notifications on the recent educational content we have on our YouTube channels. Alright, till you see my video once again, I still remain Tutoshima. Bye, and do have a great day.